What up, bro?
Yo.
What you trying to do?
Shit. Let me look at I don't trust this motherfucker, boy.
What is going on YouTube? So today we got a simple mission. We just took delivery of Nisha's mom's 07 Accord, and I wanted to do something really nice and try to give her some fresh suspension under this thing. It does have 200,000+ miles on it, as you saw in the last few clips. So it's definitely pretty worn out. And for those that don't know, which a lot of people probably don't at this point, Maxpeedingrods is actually now developing and making stock suspension, like stock strut and coil spring setups to keep your car stock, but also give it a brand new ride quality. If you got like old busted stuff on your car, you can swap out for these and essentially have a like brand new ride. So we're gonna test it out. I'm gonna drive over some bumps that I can find, and we're gonna see what the feel is, and then we're gonna install the suspension, take it back out, and see if we can tell a difference in it or not. Let's see. So we got a couple bounces there. Not too bad, but bounce. This little section right here is really my good tester here, man, as far as suspension goes. It's really bumpy going across this bridge here. Yeah. Okay. All right, boys. So we have the Accord in the shop now. I got it lifted up. I haven't took anything off yet. We're starting with the front. I just want to double check, make sure that this stuff is indeed what goes on this car. Again, 03 to 07 Accord, pretty much is the exact same suspension. It's like that with a lot of year models. Everyone dealing with a Honda knows this, but yeah, so 03 to 07 is pretty much the exact same suspension. So this is supposed to be for an 07, but I'm gonna check everything right now just to make sure before we start breaking into this car. So as you can see here, boys, we got MXR, baby. Maxpeedingrods factory strut assembly. Now what this means is if you got a daily driver that you don't want to lower, but it's got 300,000 miles on it and the suspension's collapsed, this right here is a direct replacement for your factory suspension setup. So you don't have to go coilovers, and you don't have to break the bank on buying a OEM set. Now your boys over at Maxpeedingrods got you covered, as well as your boy Dale with that discount code. So just like every other product on their website, you can always use my discount code DFSQUAD, and that'll save you 10% on top of their already low pricing. That being said, these should be for the front, and I mean everything's packaged right nicely. Again, this is all OEM spec stuff here, boys. There's no lowering to this or nothing. This will just be factory replacement. Man, it looks good. Look at this. This is so freaking dope, man. Complete factory replacement setup. No need for spring compressors and all of that. If you're just doing a strut by itself, this is the spring strut combination. So it's just a simple swap out for the new unit. So yeah, man, this thing looks absolutely beautiful, and it looks to be the exact correspondence to this Accord, as this generation does have the 2 extra bolts for this little, I don't know, strut bar brace thing. And it actually has those extra 2 bolts right there. So everything seems to be in place. Very, very beautiful setup, man. You can't beat that gloss black. I mean, that always works. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way. We'll check the rears out, and then we'll get started pulling this stuff off. And here is a look at the rear. Got the 2 bolt up top there, and down here you got this little bushing at the bottom that your bolt goes through in the lower control arm. Again, this is really, really nice. They got warning labels on everything, letting you know what's up. In case you've never worked on strut assemblies before, they even got this nice warning label up here now that lets you know, do not tamper with this bolt under pressure. So yeah, super nice, man, for a newbie like that's trying to do this on his own in his home garage or in the street, in the driveway or whatever. This is super nice, keeping all the warning labels there so no one makes a mistake. Like, you can't ignore this, and it's on every one of them. So you can see there's that yellow on top of every strut. So there's no reason anybody should be doing dumb stuff like popping these off if you get a set. So those are the rears. I guess everything looks like it's gonna match up now. So I'm gonna go ahead, proceed with pulling this front apart and try to get this stuff knocked out. All right, this side, as you can see, the wheel is back on. Super easy to get these fronts done, man. I know the back is gonna fight me because this was too damn easy to knock these fronts out, but it's got that brand new unit up in there now, boys. And I like, again, as I said, every video I do coilovers and stuff in, I like to use the stock Accord or Civic bolts, because even though Maxpeedingrods does come with their own hardware, for some reason they always go up a size bigger. So if you just know Hondas like the back of your hand, then you know, like, these strut tie bolts are always 14s, these right here are always 12s. And it's like, if you do the Maxpeedingrods, you might grab that 14 and then forget that you had Maxpeedingrods up there, so you then need to go back, get the 15. And I mean, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but I just like to keep everything factory so I can remember in my mind. I know it's a 14 on the tower. So yeah, as you can see, I got this side out. Give y'all a little comparison here, these bad boys. But I mean, they look just like, the stock stuff. I ain't gonna lie, these don't look too bad. I'm not sure when they were replaced last or something, but they really don't look that bad at all. But as you can see, the Maxpeedingrods, exact same length, everything, the exact same, boys. So this is definitely looking to be a really great alternative. I've been rocking with Maxpeedingrods for a long time, and knowing that they're starting to offer these really excites me, because eventually I might need some for one of my cars that I don't want to lower. I might have like a daily driver or something, and I might need a set, and these are really gonna come in handy. So huge shout out to them boys for thinking ahead and thinking about people that might not actually want to modify a car, but might just want better ride quality in general out of their stock stuff. So this is really a plus so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this mounted up. To do so, as you can see, I'm time-lapsing everything. It's not that hard if you have an 06, well, basically a 03 to 07 Accord. These are the steps you'll take. You'll start with the bottom bolt down there. That runs through the lower fork portion there. That is a 17. You'll pop that out. Then you can knock this 14 mil out that clamps around the actual strut on the fork. And then after that, you can use a hammer and just tap down on the fork itself. That'll knock the fork right off the end of the strut. From there, you can move to the top. You can hit all 3 of the 14 mil bolts that hold the strut assembly itself. And then you can hit these 2 12s that hold the strut assembly to the little bracing here that comes in some of the newer Accords. Once you do that, the whole strut thing is gonna drop down. From there, what you want to do is kind of lift the strut up. So the bottom of the light is the bottom of the strut, right? It'll fall like here. So what you'll want to do is lift the strut up back into it to get that to come over this way. And then you can work the whole assembly out and out just like that. So that's kind of what I did. And it was so freaking smooth, man. Like, it literally did not take me 10 minutes to pop one of these out and put a new one back in. Super simple, man. And if you might have an older model, it is pretty much, this style is pretty much the exact same all the way back to 1990. Like this exact same setup is pretty much the exact same all the way back. Trust me, I worked on all of the 90s Accords, and this is no different, which is really good, because this being a 07, it's a little newer body style, but I'm glad that to see that Honda kept it OG and kept it really simple as far as the suspension setup goes. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this new strut placed in, and then we can move on to that dreaded back. Now guys, on this go around, just to show you how easy and super simple this is, I'm not time-lapsing anything. I'm gonna just go ahead and mount this in. I've even sacrificed my music just so I don't get copyrighted and you guys can watch and see how simple this is to put them back. But we're just gonna line up the holes to where they relatively go. You know, the 2 smaller ones gotta go to the smaller holes. We'll push this up and through the hole like so. We're just gonna keep feeding it up so we can get this bottom portion to clear. Sometimes you have to push it down. Once we get that in, we push the holes up, push the studs up through the hole like so. Like that, and then from there we'll reach up, slap a couple bolts on. You don't have to tighten the top just yet. You want to make sure it's loose so that you can align this fork and stuff and get all of this straight. Once we get that fork lined up down there, you can push that right up on the strut assembly, get it started, and then I'll give it a few taps with the hammer just to get it going up on there. Then we'll get this bolt in at the bottom. So, tap that through. Easy. Yep, that's tight. Okay, make sure that's nice and tight. Just like that, boys, throw this wheel back on. This thing is nice and tight. Everything is secure. She's looking good to go. Here's a little look at what she looks like up in her new home. I don't know if I can show y'all with it in the car, but there is a little tab back there that lines up to the fork, so you know you got it in right. But yeah, She is looking good. Here is a look at the rear side by side. As you can see, again, everything is the exact same. So we know they're gonna work just fine, which is beautiful. Quick go over of the rear. I did the other side already. Driver's side is already complete. I did not put that on camera. Just as I figured, boys, the rear is so much harder than the front, but it's not the hardest thing to do. It's just, it's way more steps, guys, than the front. The front just dropped out with no issue, whereas the rear, I had to do several things to get the damn strut out. So for one, you have to start by removing the entire bottom part of the seat. Really simple. It's got two little push tabs up front. You pull on them and pull up on the seat, they'll pop up. Once you get both sides, the whole bottom portion of the seat can be slid forward enough out of the way to where then you have to reach a 10 mil bolt right here in this hole that holds on the side bolstering for the rear seats. Once you pull the side bolstering out, you have to take out the little plastic trim piece that goes across back here. So that little piece right there is normally up here, and that covers where your strut tower is at the top. So once you've got that out, you can then see clearly there's your two bolts for that side, and the other side is already back in brand new. Then once you got that done up top, you have to come down to the bottom here, which this side is freaking filled with spider webbing, and yeah, there looks to be an old wasp nest sitting right there as well. Super sketch. But yeah, once you come down here, you got to take out this rear sway bar end link. I was wondering why. I can tell you why now. It doesn't really aid in dropping this down. As you can see, I got a long pipe that I just pry down on to give me that extra clearance. What it does though, this sway bar link is connected in this hole, and if you don't take that out, you won't be able to swing the bottom of the strut down. Like, it's got to go back that way, like exactly where this link is. The back of the strut has to go that way, and then you can pull it down this way from the top, and it comes out just like that. So without removing that, which is, I did it exactly like by the book on the other side, but on this side I tried to do it without removing it, and you just can't, because this is basically right here, and your strut mounts right where that hole is right there. So it's just not enough room to move it back and out of the way enough to get the top portion down and out the front. Again, if we were doing coilovers on this car, we could have done that the first time to get the factory out, but to put the coilover in, it would have definitely been as simple as just sticking the coilover up and into the chamber and then bolting it in at the bottom. See, again, that's what I say about the stock suspension stuff. It's just, it's not much room, and when you take it out, if you're putting stock back, you got to put it exactly back the way that it came out. It's just going to be tight, but with this out the way, it's not an issue, and it's just one 14 mil bolt, and you have to hold it with an Allen hex key, which was a number 5 hex. So if anybody's doing this at home for themselves, I use the number 5 hex key, which is right here, and I use ratcheting 14 mil wrench, and I just held it with the hex key and just ratcheted it off. It's a little tight. It probably would have been easier if I would have used a little PB blaster or something on it, but it wrenched off, and the other side went back easier than it came off. So I'm hoping this side will be the same exact way. What I'm gonna do right now is go ahead and get this side thrown back in, and then we should be good for a test drive. Got her warming up now, boys. I'm getting ready to back her out of the shop. We'll see what she looks like. The ride height looks to be pretty much the exact same, so that's a plus there. It's not higher or anything. Looks to be pretty matched with the stock stuff that came off the car. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing backed out into the outside, and we'll do a little walk around, see how she's looking. Then we can do that test drive and wrap this video up. So here it is outside, and as you can see, the ride height is spot on with factory. I mean, it's sitting perfect. It's not squatted, anything crazy, and the ground isn't even at level here. I mean, look at it. It's sitting spot on, boys. So it's definitely looking like a great upgrade for someone wanting to get that OEM factory ride quality back. Honestly, man, I really wish I would have had like a more rundown. Like if they would have had these when we had the 08 Accord, and that thing used to bounce real bad, man. I mean, I know that this would have been so perfect for that thing, but it was so sexy slam. But I mean, if you got something like an automatic that you don't want to lower, again, this is definitely a perfect option. If you got a family member that might need, like they might have blown struts or something, and you need an option, this is definitely the way to go, especially if you drive an older Honda. They have tons of those models, and I believe they have a few other models as well. But yeah, guys, this thing is sitting absolutely great. It's looking exactly how it was before, so nothing crazy there, which is what you want. Remember, guys, I do have a discount code for these, as well as anything else on Maxpeedingrods website, DFSQUAD at checkout, that will save you 10%. So with that being said, let's go for a drive. Alrighty, boys, we're now on the road, and we're about to test again one of my favorite tests, I guess, to do with suspension, and that's this bridge here. Okay. Yep. That definitely feels just like stock. Like, it's not too soft, it's not too firm. It feels stock. It's got a nice rebound to it. You can't ask for anything more. And this is freaking amazing. It's crazy. This thing drives exactly like factory. Like there's no, you would never know this thing is riding on Maxpeedingrods anything right now. We're on the highway now. We're about 70. I mean, there's not a bit of shake in the steering wheel, anything. I don't know when the last time this thing's been lined up or anything like that, but I mean, it runs, it's driving pretty damn smooth, like no complaints at all. Overpasses, everything feels nice and smooth. Driving a little bit past the hood, and you can tell like the uneven pavements and stuff. Car feels really good there. Right there is Easy Muffler. If anybody really watches the channel knows I go there a lot for exhaust work. But yeah, train track right here. I'm gonna kind of float over it, see how it feels. Oh yeah, that's really smooth there. Okay, so yeah, guys, I don't have a whole lot left to say about this, man. This thing is driving a lot smoother, man, and it's definitely quiet. There's no weird squeaks, creaks, anything like that. I'll keep y'all up to date if something does change around that. But yeah, guys, with that being said, if you would like a set of these or anything else on their website, make sure y'all use my discount code DFSQUAD at checkout to save yourself 10% on your purchase. I will catch y'all next time, guys. Remember, respect our bills. Peace out.